thousands of conversations. You speak to friends, co-workers, family members, and strangers. But there is one conversation that never stops. A conversation so powerful that it can determine whether you take action or stay stuck, whether you become confident or insecure, whether you build the life you want or slowly sabotage it without even realizing it. And the strange part? No one else can hear it. It's the conversation happening inside your own head. The voice that tells you who you are. The voice that interprets every success and every failure. The voice that follows you everywhere. And if that voice has become your enemy, it may be quietly destroying your future. Think about it. Every moment of your life is accompanied by an invisible narrator. When you make a mistake, it speaks. When you look in the mirror, it speaks. When you consider taking a risk, it speaks. Sometimes it encourages you. Sometimes it attacks you. And over time, you begin to believe whatever it repeatedly says. Psychologists call this the self-narrative. It's the story you tell yourself about who you are. The danger is that most people never consciously examine this story. They inherit beliefs from childhood, past failures, criticism, social comparison, and painful experiences. Then they mistake those beliefs for reality. A person who hears, "You're not smart enough," often enough, eventually stops trying difficult things. A person who repeatedly tells themselves, "Nobody cares about me," starts seeing rejection everywhere. A person who believes, "I always fail," becomes afraid to even begin. The mind starts collecting evidence to support whatever story it already believes. And that's when the internal conversation becomes dangerous. Not because it's loud, but because it's constant. Negative self-talk rarely arrives dramatically. It usually sounds reasonable. It whispers, "Don't embarrass yourself. You're probably not capable. Other people are better. What's the point?" The problem is repetition. A single negative thought isn't dangerous. Thousands of repeated negative thoughts are. Every repeated thought strengthens a mental pathway. Eventually, what began as a possibility becomes an identity. You no longer think, "I failed." You think, "I am a failure." You no longer think, "I feel anxious." You think, "I am an anxious person." Notice the difference. One describes an experience. The other defines a person. And once a thought becomes part of your identity, it starts influencing every decision you make. You hesitate. You avoid opportunities. You play smaller than you're capable of. Not because reality limits you, because your internal dialogue does. The prison isn't outside. It's inside. Ancient philosophers spent centuries trying to understand the human mind. Many came to the same conclusion. The greatest battle is not against the world. It's against yourself. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most respected Stoic thinkers, constantly reminded himself that the mind has the power to shape experience. Not control everything, but interpret everything. This is a profound distinction. You cannot always control circumstances. You cannot control other people. You cannot control every setback. But you can influence the meaning you assign to those events. That meaning determines whether challenges become excuses or opportunities. A disciplined mind does not blindly believe every thought that appears. It questions. It observes. It chooses. Most thoughts simply happen. Wisdom begins when you stop identifying with every thought and start examining them. Before we continue, take a moment and ask yourself, what is the sentence you repeat most often in your mind? Is it empowering? Or is it limiting? Share your answer in the comments. Sometimes bringing a thought into the light is the first step toward changing it. And if this video is helping you see your own mind more clearly, consider liking the video. It helps more people discover these ideas. Here's something fascinating. Your brain is constantly searching for evidence to support what it already believes. If you believe you're incapable, your mind notices failures. If you believe you're growing, your mind notices progress. This doesn't mean you can magically think your way into success, but it does mean your beliefs influence what you pay attention to, and what you pay attention to influences your behavior. Confidence isn't the absence of difficulty. It's the result of repeatedly proving to yourself that you can handle difficulty. The inner voice plays a major role in that process. When challenges appear, one voice says, "This is impossible." Another says, This is difficult, but I can learn. One shuts down growth. The other creates it. The situation may be identical. The conversation is not. One of the most powerful skills you can develop is learning to observe your thoughts without immediately believing them. Imagine sitting beside a river. Thoughts are like water flowing past. Some are useful. Some are distorted. Some are completely false. Yet many people jump into the river and let every thought carry them away. Instead, try observing. When your mind says, "I'm not good enough," pause. Ask, "Is this objectively true? What evidence supports it? What evidence contradicts it? Would I say this to someone I care about?" These simple questions create distance between you and the thought. And in that distance, freedom begins. Because not every thought deserves your trust. Changing your inner dialogue doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means becoming honest and constructive. Instead of, "I can't do this," try, "I haven't learned this yet." Instead of, "I always fail," try, "I'm improving through experience." Instead of, "I'm not confident," try, "I'm building confidence through action." Notice that these statements aren't fantasies. They're grounded in reality, but they direct your attention toward growth rather than limitation. Over time, these small shifts create profound changes. Not overnight, but consistently. The conversation changes. Then the beliefs change. Then the actions change. And eventually, the life changes. Perhaps the most challenging realization is this: no one spends more time with you than you do. No one speaks to you more than your own mind. Which means your inner dialogue is one of the most important relationships you'll ever have. If you constantly criticize yourself, you'll carry conflict everywhere. If you learn to guide yourself with honesty, discipline, and compassion, you'll carry strength everywhere. The quality of your life is deeply connected to the quality of the conversation happening inside your head. Because long before the world hears your voice, you hear it. Long before others believe in you, you speak to yourself. And long before success becomes visible, it often begins as a thought. The most dangerous conversation is not the one happening around you. It's the one happening within you. Because that conversation shapes your beliefs. Your beliefs shape your actions. And your actions shape your destiny. So pay attention to the voice in your head. Challenge it when it's destructive. Strengthen it when it's wise. Train it when it's undisciplined. And remember, you do not become what the world says you are. You become what you repeatedly believe about yourself. The next chapter of your life may begin with something as simple as a different thought, a different sentence, a different conversation. And that conversation starts today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content on philosophy, psychology, and personal growth. Until next time, guard your mind carefully because the voice you listen to most will eventually become the life you live.